All right. Tania Kross, Teatro Cur Dario for Habanera from Carmen by Bizet. This is a beauty. You guys have all heard this before. I promise you. Horacle, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Let's kick it off. Brava. Tania Kross. Absolute legend. Guys, Carmen is one of my absolute favorite operas. And this aria is so popular. Like, you guys have all heard this. There's nothing. Oh, God. It's such a good melody. It's so well composed. Carmen, the character, has 3 arias in this opera, and this is by far my favorite. The others are magnificent as well. Before I jump into the musicology of it, oh my gosh. Yop with 5,000 bits and 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Shadow of Death, thank you for resubscribing for 7 months. And Rune, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. So appreciated. This hype train is off the tracks. That's funny to say. So, right here, this is perfect. Habanera is the name of the aria. The Habanera, it's a dance. It's also like a spicy pepper. And written by Georges Bizet, the composer. Now, this was written in the 1800s, mid-1800s, and Carmen was a gypsy, right? The story is that she is a woman who is sought after by so many men, but never falls in love, right? And this song is all about that. The song is about her take on love. Eventually, she falls tragically. A man tragically falls in love with her, and because she can't be contained, she can't be captured by love, like the bird she's thinking about, then he kills her. That's the end. Spoiler alert. Love is like a rebellious bird. Here are the lyrics. That nobody can tame, and you can call him quite in vain. Now, if it suits him not to come, nothing helps. Neither threat nor prayer. One man talks, well, the others mumble. It's the other one that I prefer. He's silent, but I like his looks. Love, love, love. L'amour, l'amour, l'amour. Love is a gypsy's child. It has never, ever known a law. Love me not, then I love you. If I love you, you'd best beware, etc. The bird you thought you had caught beats its wings and flies away. Love stays away, and you wait and wait, and when least expected, there it is. All around you, swift, so swift. It comes, it goes, and then it returns. You think you hold it fast. It flees. You think you're free. It holds you fast. L'amour, 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 l'amour. Love is a gypsy's child that has never, ever known a law. Love me not, then I love you. If I love you, you'd best beware. That's what she's singing about. It's so beautiful. Guys, if you've gotten a gifted sub today from anyone, please give them a warm thank you. I know that goes without saying, but I just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, thanks for one for Pondra. Much appreciated. The song is all about the fleeting nature of love and how you can never truly control it. It comes and goes, and you just have to go along with it. And that's a summation of this story for this character, and it's such a beautiful idea. Now, Bizet, the composer, did a very interesting thing when writing about Carmen. Now, the term gypsy is not very PC anymore, and I'm using it in the historical context of how it was used in this opera, written in the mid-19th century. And Carmen, written as a gypsy character, traveling, one of those nomadic peoples in Europe. She plays cards, she reads fortunes, she's that character, and she's exotic, right, to the standard European person. So to exude exoticism in her music, Bizet did something very interesting. He strayed from that typical structural harmony and added a lot of chromaticism to the line. So that starting line, let's listen to it. Da 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 da. Right? That chromatic line, that oozing connectedness. It's so beautiful. Been saving while Charlie was away. That's funny. Yeah, you're hilarious. Oh, but seriously, thank you for all that. The exoticism in this character, the alluringness, the seduction in Carmen as this legendarily operatically seductive character is written into the music in that way. That oozing sensual melody that starts off this aria where she's basically being introduced in the show. It's so catchy. Like, everyone knows this melody. You've heard it before. You know what it is. Maybe you don't know where it's from, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And Tania Kross really owns that seduction in it. She owns that sensuality in the music by literally just giving us the most easy crystalline tone, and yet it's still a deep, you can feel this depth and allure behind it. She's not limiting any of her resonances. Yes, so it's exactly Anello, exactly. So chromatic lines, especially in classical music, they give that Eastern, Middle Eastern, Far Eastern feeling, which corresponds to exoticism. Mozart was one of the first composers to do this when he wrote things like Rondo alla Turca, where he was channeling like Turkish ideas in terms of Western culture through using chromaticism and different harmonies. And exoticism in Western music is an important thing to understand because it's literally a Western take on an Eastern culture. So it's not, this isn't Romani music. This isn't like gypsy music. But it's being implied by the way that the chromatic line is used. That chromatic, kind of oozing half note, half note, half note line is used in the context of Western music. So it's an interesting musicology thing. And it's one of the first times this was really popularized in grand opera, which is what Bizet wrote. Let's keep it going. And like the turns too in the voice. The turns in the voice too. Again, it's that sensuality, that playfulness in the vocal line combined with the seductive quality of that exotic line. It's so crazy. It's so well done. I mean, Carmen is one of the most popular operas in the world for a reason, because the music is so powerful. Yeah, it does sound Russian. Again, Eastern, that vibe. The loves, when she's singing l'amour, which means love, when she's singing that, you hear the sound blossom. She lets it go. She's just singing love, 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 love. And then and that's just exuberance. That's showing the character's openness to love, showing the joy in it. But then there's never a compromise when she comes to explaining it. When she comes to explaining the playfulness of love, she just pulls it back. And that's Tania's interpretation of it, being very well done, in my opinion, based on the subject of the actual song. Yes. The choir is great too. It's so hot. The line she said, "If I love you, you best beware." It's so funny. Oh. We have a visitor? Come here. Come here. Someone heard opera, so he decided to come say hi. Hi, guys. Let's keep it going. And look at that playfulness on her face. She's embodying this character perfectly well, because Carmen doesn't take herself so seriously, right? She plays along with everyone. The character and the singer play with the audience like they play with other people in love. They play with the idea of love.
Mais si je t'aime, si je t'aime, oiseau que tu croyais surprendre, parti de l'aile et s'envola. L'amour est loin, tu peux l'entendre, tu ne l'entends plus, il est là. Tourne tout vite, vite, il vient, s'en va, puis il revient. Tu crois le tenir, il t'évite, tu crois l'éviter, il te tient. L'amour est enfant de bohème, il n'a jamais, jamais connu de loi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aime, prends garde en toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Mais si je t'aime, si je t'aime, prends garde à toi.
So I worked with a soprano this summer. So Carmen is typically sung by a mezzo-soprano, which Tania is. I worked with a soprano this summer who sang Carmen her first time ever. She's her voice is kind of lowering, so it's a role that you can do as a soprano. It just needs to be kind of it sits a lot lower, obviously. And she said, she's like, I know that I'm not the hottest girl in the room, but to be Carmen, you just have to be the most interesting girl in the room, the most interesting woman in the room. That's what Carmen is, because she is just a master in love, right? She knows how to use the will of people to get what she wants to a point where it's dangerous and it ends up in her demise, and the story is very tragic but beautiful at the same time. And I love that even in the context, if this were part of the whole production, sir, be patient. If this were part of a whole production of Carmen, I would believe her. Like, I believe Tania's Carmen interpretation, because she is a master in this moment of confidence and of allure, and she's explaining this art of seduction to people, and it's so raw. And she's confident and happy, and by far the most interesting person in this room. It's awesome. It's so beautiful. And the way she's weaving these amazing vocal lines that Bizet has written for her, absolutely stellar. Absolutely stunning. Ugh. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. This was awesome. I ask useless questions. How is she, Mike? Let's see. I assume that the space is very acoustically treated because this is like a very large open space. It looks like some kind of warehouse. And we see over here on the left of the frame that there are some like area mics here. That's typical of operatic recording. Definitely not a useless question. We talk about this often, actually, because it's really hard to record the operatic voice well. Because it's not, you can't just stick a dynamic mic like this one in front of the mouth and get an accurate depiction of the sound and how it's meant to be heard. It's really just a matter of utilizing the acoustic space properly, getting some good condenser mics, and setting up in a way that you can kind of capture a good range of reference. But when you have a full ensemble like this, it really is just all area mic'd. So I would assume maybe some like large diaphragm condenser mics or some like well placed small diaphragm condenser mics. That's what I'm probably getting.